ladies and gentlemen of the media. On the 13th of April 2017, I addressed the nation regarding the leadership status of the Hawks. This decision was precipitated by the court order that set the appointment of General Ntlemeza aside. I'm mindful of the fact that there's been some media confusion reported about the leadership status of the Hawks. It is my statutory responsibility to bring the nation into confidence insofar as the Hawks leadership is concerned. In the interest of clarity to the nation, I owe it to my responsibility to take you through the processes subsequent to the court order of the 17th March 2017. On the 12th of April 2017, the court made two orders as follows. The first order reads as thus: it is ordered that the application for leave to appeal is dismissed with cost. The second order reads thus: it is ordered that 1, the application is granted; 2, the operation and execution of the order granted by this court under case number 23-19916 on 17 March 2017 is not suspended and will continue to be operational and executed in full whether or not there are any applications for leave to appeal and appeals, or there is any petition for leave to appeal in respect of this order. 3, the respondent in the counter application is hereby ordered to repay the costs of the counter application. In line with this full court decision declaring that the appointment of Lieutenant General Ntlemeza as the head of DPCI, commonly referred to as the Hawks, was unlawful, unconstitutional, and therefore set aside. I had then, in respecting the court decisions, immediately acted upon by notifying Lieutenant General Ntlemeza of my decision, with reasons being that of the court order. In addition, I had also appointed an acting head of DPCI by invoking the provisions of Section 17CA 12C of the South African Police Service Act 1995, which provide as thus, I quote: whenever the office of the national head of DPCI is vacant, or the national head of DPCI is for any reason unable to take up the appointment contemplated in subsection 1, the minister shall appoint the deputy national head of the DPCI as the acting national head of the DPCI, close quote. I want the nation to understand the implication of both orders of the 12th of April 2017 to mean that the court order had accepted the minister's withdrawal of the application for leave to appeal. General Ntlemeza proceeded with his application for leave to appeal, and this was dismissed with costs. The counter application of HSF, Helen Suzman Foundation, that the order of 17 March 2017 be operational and enforceable was granted, and the costs for the counter application must be paid by General Ntlemeza. This means that we must give effect to the order of 17 March 2017 that set aside General Ntlemeza's appointment. The effect is that even if General Ntlemeza decides to appeal further, the order of 17 March 2017 stands and is not suspended. It is noteworthy to inform you that there has been an exchange of communication between the representatives of Lieutenant General Ntlemeza and the ministry through the state attorney, where the decision of the full court was reiterated to Lieutenant General Ntlemeza through his legal representatives. In the premise, they were also informed that in the event that their client is still not satisfied with the pronouncement made by the various courts, they should ventilate whatever matters they are dissatisfied with through available legal recourse, since I'm not in a position to address the same. Further, directing that their dissatisfaction with me will not yield results, as I had acted within the principles of functus officio and within the directives of the court. Only the appropriate court could attend to their dissatisfaction. I want to point out further that in the current circumstances of this matter, my understanding is that the full court of the 12th April 2017 went further than merely granting an enforcement order, and specifically ordered that the enforcement order it granted was to remain in effect, notwithstanding any petition to the SCA or the Constitutional Court. Therefore, the court order of the 12th April 2017 stands until it is set aside. By law, I am accordingly obliged to respect and uphold the contents of the court order of the 12th April 2017 and to regard Lieutenant General Ntlemeza's contract as invalid, notwithstanding his possible and supposedly pending petition to the SCA. Therefore, the nation has to understand that we are not in a fight with anybody, but merely upholding court decisions. It therefore follows that Lieutenant General Ntlemeza is not entitled to report for duty or to exercise any powers or duties afforded to the head of DPCI until and unless the SCA reverses the full court's order. His attempt to enter the DPCI premises is considered unlawful and will be acted upon decisively. Lieutenant General Ntlemeza will remain in Lieutenant General Matakata will remain in an acting role as the acting head of the DPCI. Lastly, we expect the Hawks to continue to combat, investigate, and prevent serious organized crimes, serious commercial crimes, and serious corruption committed both in public as well as in the private sector. I thank you. For the developments of this afternoon, we have been informed that General Ntlemeza entered the management meeting of the Hawks at the Hawks headquarters this morning, and he ordered the head of the supply chain to give him a car, which is roaming around the streets of Pretoria or wherever he is this afternoon, and he's got a cell phone of government and the state in his possession, and whatever that is got. I have communicated with General Patlani this before I came in here, that all of that must be not repossessed. They must be found and brought back to the state, and all shall be in order. Should anybody enter this premise in whatever guise, it is illegal, and that person must be arrested with immediate effect. So that is the court order. So there's no argument. The only people we can argue with, it is the courts. And there is no fight between us and General Ntlemeza, and there shall be peace and harmony in relation to any other matter, as long as we understand the law and the fact that the law must be executed to the latter. We expected General Ntlemeza to have filed his appeal, as he promised, by Friday through his lawyers, and he notified us by Friday, and we applied our minds equally to that. But in relation to the application of the order, it is very clear that whether he petitions the SCA or he actually appeals, the order stands. So there is no point in relation to that petition in itself to actually consider a different move when it comes to the question of reporting to work. There are no heads of two. There are no two heads of DPCI. There is an acting head, which all processes will be followed to the latter, and that there is no state of crisis. We are aware that
Thanks, Honorable Chair. My presentation.
The Minister of Police, Fikile Mbalula, briefing the media at the Hawks headquarters in Pretoria, touching on a number of issues around former head of the Hawks, Mr. Burning in Ntlemeza. The Minister of Police stating that they're not fighting with Burning in Ntlemeza. They are merely upholding the court orders and what the court has ruled on.